Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alemannic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is a little astral healing for our self worth. And that's inspired by a dream I had last night. And in that dream, I was doing something for someone, I was helping them. And then I said, "Oh, it's nothing." And then I woke up with a strong message saying, "No, it's not nothing. It's everything." And that's exactly the difference between us constantly making ourselves small, denying ourselves, being dismissive of our own gifts and abilities, and therefore not succeeding because we're constantly self sabotaging by talking negatively about the things that we're able to do, the things that we are doing for others. So, whether that be helping someone with a service or giving them something and making it sound like, oh, it's just this old thing. Meanwhile, we were really intentional with it and we knew that was the perfect and exact right thing for this person or anything along those lines. And a lot of that goes back to not being safe when visible when we were growing up. And also, it goes back to, especially when it comes to our psychic gifts and abilities, our healing gifts and abilities, that goes back to our witch wound from past lifetimes, right? So it can be one or the other or both, depending on your situation. But that is something that many of us who have been in an environment, most of us in the matrix, have been in an environment where especially the psychic and quantum and healing gifts and abilities have been frowned upon, have not been taken seriously. And if we came out of the quote unquote broom closet, then we would appear somewhat crazy or just not be taken seriously and so on, right? So, a lot of times we learned to make ourselves small and to make things appear like they're nothing but. Those are our strengths, those are our gifts and abilities that we came into this life with, and we need to realize how special they are and how many people we can actually help them with if we can step into our power and truly acknowledge how amazing and unique and special these gifts are. So, with that being said, I did actually bring something a little bit special for me into this ceremony here. So this is the first radish that I harvested today from behind the train tracks from my secret garden that I have there. And it might still be a little bit small and young, but it was the first one and I was so excited. So I actually pulled it out. I left all the other ones to grow bigger, but I wanted to share this with you because sometimes our gifts can also be inspiring others, right? And so here, for example, this is also from behind the train tracks. This is catnip that I planted, and I actually ended up replanting it because the first place where I had it was very shady, and I thought it might do better in the light. So I actually transplanted it to a different spot, and it's doing really well in the new spot now. And also the lemon balm is finally doing well, but it's not that big and bushy yet, so I didn't want to harvest anything from there quite yet. And the peppermint that I transplanted, that was just a tiny, tiny little plant because someone else had taken the other ones, um, is finally growing enough that it's about this big, like the entire plant, right? But it was basically, I think, two leaves that were still coming out of there from the roots that were still in the ground. So they're finally growing as well. So that's exciting. And I saved some seeds tonight from the cucumber that I had in my salad. So I also wanted to share that with you. I have to spread them out a little bit more after the ceremony to let them fully dry out. But seed saving is also a big thing, that when you have a garden or you want to start a project like this, is a wonderful way to not completely overextend your finances. I mean, I personally did also invest some of my money, but I also seed saved, and I'm trying to actually do more of that this winter. So over the winter, I'm gonna be saving a bunch of seeds. And also, I had one potato that sprouted in my basket this sort of early summer, and I planted that, and the plant is starting to get big. I don't know if I planted it too late or not. We'll see. All of this is an experiment for me right now. It's my second year doing it, and I've never done gardening before. So I'm actually very excited, and I hope that, I'm also inspiring you to do some of that. And with that being said, let's actually jump in and do the ceremony for self worth. Oh, and sorry, before I forget, I did put the lion here as well, because the lion is the king of the animal kingdom, and is in his or her power, right? And therefore actually knows and acknowledges his or her or their self-worth, right? So I felt that was a really good energy to bring in there. And for me personally, I'm also a Leo, and I think we also just had the Lionsgate portal a little while ago. I'm sorry, sometimes I lose track of these astrological things. I love watching videos about them, but then I don't always remember all the details. So my apologies for that. But those of you who are more on top of those things, if you want, you can actually comment in the box down below. That would be great if, people have a few more details there. And yeah, with that being said, so the lion here shall represent our self-worth, our inner knowing of our self-worth, and totally feeling our self-worth and no longer denying it, no longer making ourselves small, right? Okay, now let's smudge and jump right in. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it transmute it into love and light, and return it to the universe for reintegration, and help us fully and completely reconnect to our own inner divinity, as well as that all around us, and through that help us be in oneness with all of creation. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right, dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, and our entire divine spirit team of the light, including our ancestors that are in the light, the four directions, and the four elements, please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. All right, let us take a moment to express our gratitude and appreciation. So, I want to give thanks to Mother Earth for blessing us with an abundance of food all around the world. I know there are some areas where there are less plants, such as the desert, but a lot of that is being revived through efforts of the population living there, and it's absolutely marvelous and amazing. And when I watched those videos, I was just so in awe of how they could revive areas that seemed dead, right? But they weren't. So a lot of times they were digging either half circles or full circles, if I remember correctly. I watched them a while ago. Um, but the water then collects in there, and that's when the plants start growing. The seeds can start sprouting when the water stays in there for a while, right? So it's just an absolute marvel. And around most other areas around the world, there's so many plants everywhere. Also, like just doing this little secret garden slash food forest project behind the train tracks, when we think about it, there's so much green space. Like, for example, even in cities, Toronto is a city that actually has a lot of parks, and quite a few of those are not groomed. They are left more or less wild. So, all of those spaces could actually be turned into either full or partial food forests instead of just having plants for decoration. I'm not saying it's not nice to have flowers and decorative plants as well, but imagine if large parts of the green spaces could be harvested. I noticed, for example, a little while ago, there was a cherry tree on the edge of someone's property, and a lot of the branches were hanging over. And people walking by just stopped and picked some cherries and then went on their way again. And we could have that in so many places, right? And I mean, this was actually someone's tree, right? This was in front of someone's house. Yet, if it's over the property line, then it's public property, right? So it's up for grabs. So if we could have a lot of edible food in all those spaces, that would just be paradise, right? It would be an absolute dream. So, anyhow, I feel really passionate about this now. So, I'm hoping I can inspire some of you as well. But with that being said, let us now have this little healing. And I already lit the candle before I started the ceremony, but like right before, as you can see, like it hasn't really burned down yet. Let this white candle bring in all the pure divine healing light into our body, mind, spirit, soul, and energy field to reignite our inner knowing, our awareness, and our strong, strong feelings of our self-worth as a divine being, as someone with special and amazing and unique gifts and abilities, and to recognize how much we can contribute to society and help others in our own way, in whatever way that is. And I'm not talking about crime here, obviously. But I was thinking, some songs can be very healing, or art, or even just being a completely positive, supportive person who holds the light and makes other people's days happier and better just by existing, just by being there and, let's say, cheering them up when they're feeling down, right? So with that being said, let us be so massively filled and surrounded by this pure divine light that we absolutely know and feel our special worth and our divinity, our inner divinity, so that we can finally step up and fulfill our soul purpose. We can move ahead. We can start being successful in what we're meant to do without holding ourselves back by constantly trying to shrink ourselves down again to fit into the matrix that was created in a way to keep souls down in this worker bee type of state where we don't break free and fully step into our power, right? So with that being said, let us now, and I feel like I want to use these almost like in the Catholic Church when they give blessings with like holy water. I feel like I want to kind of do that with the catnip. So this is Mother Earth blessing us and helping us see and know our self-worth on a deep level, on a heart level, to fully know that we can no longer allow other people, directly or indirectly, through our own insecurities, make us feel less than. We are so massively blessed with our own gifts and abilities, and we are meant to share them with the world. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. It feels very clear right now. I feel like there's more of a lightness in the air right now. So to support that further, let us also take a deep breath in, breathing in that pure divine light. And let us exhale any remaining darkness that we've been holding on to. Okay, so inhale light. And exhale darkness. Oh. All right, that's it. Let us give massive amounts of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings to our divine team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that being said, please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly and massively safe, shielded, and protected with a divine seal of protection. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, for being a part of the ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel further, there's a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to join any future virtual ceremonies, you can head over to meetup.com under the group name Shamanic Fire Ceremonies. And I'll also post the information on the Alemannic Shaman Facebook page, but the login will be via meetup.com. I haven't scheduled the next one yet, but it should be on the third Sunday of, wait a minute, of September. Yeah, the next one. Sorry, I had to think for a second. And anything else that's upcoming, if there's anything, I will always post the information on the Alemannic Shaman Facebook page, of course, and I'll announce it in these videos. So in the meantime, I'm sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. May truth and integrity always be with you. Bye for now.